Good morning, everybody. Today we're shooting the old jetty in a place called Clifton Springs, which, if you're a photographer from around Geelong at all, you've definitely seen this place. It's probably one of the most popular places for photographers to come shoot, especially landscape photographers. I've never been here though. I've just always kind of had it in my head that it would be 10 people here all crisscrossing their tripod legs trying to get a shot. But right now, at least so far, I'm the only one here, which is pretty cool. A little bit out of my comfort zone today. It's not as remote as I typically like to be when I shoot. There's a personal training class going on about 300 metres behind you guys. There's a caravan park just up the cliff here. It's not as sort of isolated as I typically like to be. That's okay. Trying something different. So I've messed around with a few different focal lengths, and I think I'm liking it best wide with a bit of separation between the bottom of the frame and where the pier starts. And then I'm just going to put a filter on, that way I can slow the shutter down a little bit. It's kind of a dreamy morning today, so I'm going to sort of go for that kind of vibe. So polarize is going on. And then because I've got the yangs way out in the background, I'm going to shoot with a pretty narrow aperture to get a good front to back focus. And I'm going to focus to infinity on my lens here as well. That way, in theory, everything will be relatively sharp and in focus. I'm just tilting my lens down a little bit. That way, with that mountain range, the yang's out in the background. The warping of the wide-angle lens will distort that a little bit and make it look a bit more gnarly and big than it really is. So the sun's coming through right now, I think. I have no idea because it's behind the cliff. But I think it is because the colour's really starting to go off. I'm going to try putting a filter on. So this is a 6-stop ND. And then we'll try a really slow shutter. Let's do 20 seconds, hey? Screw it. Let's get crazy. Gotta get the Instagram story. So I'm going to commit to this one. So ISO 200, f13, and we're doing a 30-second exposure. See how that looks. I think now that I've got that main shot in the bag, I'm going to have a go at doing a panoramic, just because there's so much colour happening all across the horizon. So I'm going to take my filter off just for a sec. I don't do a lot of panoramic photography, so we'll see how this goes. So I just want to get my tripod as level as possible, and then just going to unlock it so I can test pan around and just see where I'm going to start and finish it before I actually start shooting. I don't think I'm going to do a long exposure on this panoramic, just because if I do 5 shots with all 30 seconds, by the time I'm on the last one, the sky will probably change a fair bit in terms of the colour. So I'm going to keep it just a regular shutter. We'll try 1/4 of a second, f14, and bring it to where I want to start. And then just work my way through, and then focusing to infinity still. That way, as I rotate the shots, everything should stay nice and crispy. It's good to take more shots than you think you'll need to when you're doing panics. When you're doing panoramics, shoot more than you think you'll actually need. That way when you put it into Lightroom or Photoshop and tell it to do your stitching, it should cooperate. And then too, you can crop it to be whatever ratio you want. So if you end up with a massive shot, you can always crop that down. The mountains in the background now, the yangs are really lighting up. So I think I'm going to put on a longer lens and see if I can get something a bit more zoomed in on those guys. So this is my 18-105. A former volcano was the yangs. That's the only thing I remember from when I went to uni. had to do a geology class once. That is the only thing I retained from it. Volcanoes are cool. So when I got home, I googled this just to make sure it was true, and it turns out it's just not true at all. So either my teacher made that up, or I just wasn't paying attention even slightly. Anyway, on with the video. Should probably talk about what I'm doing here, hey? So I've got the actual Yuyangs, the mountain range, right in the very, very, very bottom of the frame. And then I'm just doing a lot of negative space at the top and sort of trying to get the pastel colours that are still in the sky at the moment. Kind of nice shooting next to a bay and not the ocean, not having to worry about waves and tide and getting soaked. It's kind of peaceful. Well everybody, I think that's going to about do it for me this morning. I did want to fly my drone, but because there's people just over there enjoying the morning and doing what they're doing, I'm probably going to give that one a miss and respect those people and not do it this morning. It would be quite nice though. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up, head back to the car and head on out of here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks as always for joining me on this one. I've still got some 2022 calendars available on my website, so I'll throw the website link up somewhere here. There'll be a link in the description. If you're interested in one, that'd be awesome. Only I think 5 or so left, and they're $20 each until they sell out. So if you want one, that'd be awesome. If not, that's cool too. Alright guys, well, take it easy and I'll see you next time.